right, man. Let's talk about Ben Johnson. Apparently, the Lions gave him a large raise. His salary is not being disclosed even before the raise. They say generally, offensive coordinators start off between $1.2 and $1.5 million. So apparently, he said he liked what Detroit building, but a raise had a lot to do with it. And in the past, the Lions didn't want to pay up, to keep guys like that in the fold. And that was the knock, that they didn't want to spend the money. And now it's looking like they want to spend the money. They redid the turf. They redoing the turf at Ford Field. That's one of the reasons why the AFC Championship game, if you come down to Bengals, Bills, and Chiefs, won't be in Detroit because it's supposed to be at a neutral site. In my opinion, the Bengals and I don't know if it is, but I think the Bengals and the Bills should be at a neutral site. But I just think it is. I think that's unfair. But then again, it is what it is. Cincinnati got off to a slow start, and so be it. But it seemed like they were putting the money into the organization. Apparently, they supposed to get some new uniform designs as well. So it seemed like they putting the money into the organization, and that's a good thing. Not necessarily mean a lot of people was mad because they didn't spend money in free agency, but I agree with that. Y'all got to understand, this ain't baseball where you throw some guys on the team and they can turn it around. Football is a sport of camaraderie, bro. On and off the field, everything has to work together. You can have two really good safeties, in the back end, but they don't click. Lady, if you don't make this left turn, or whoever you are, but they don't click. So that's what you got to understand, man. There's been a lot of times where a lot of teams spent a lot of money in free agency and it didn't click. And then also you got the difference too is a lot of football players fall off a cliff. You just don't never know when that odometer then reach this, then hit too much high mileage, and it's time to move on. And then you got a bunch of old dogs that's been stuck in the system, and then you put them in a new system and they can't adjust to the new system. So just throwing free agents together is not a guarantee that that you're gonna win anything in this league, in this game. So I think it's a little different when you talk about the transfer pool in college, because they still young players and they baby them and all that type of stuff. So yeah, when you talk about kind of like free agency and stuff like that, I agree. I don't agree going out there spending a whole bunch of money. Regardless, there's a couple guys out there that could be available that I could see them going to get to kind of push them that way. But all the draft capital they got, I think, just staying young, keeping the guys you want to keep, and filling, spaces where you need to fill them at. But, that's my opinion on it. But, yeah, with Ben Johnson proved another point. Yeah, he liked what they built him, but there was a lot of money out there for him, and maybe he didn't feel like he was quite ready. And I think that might have been the combination. Just because you can run one side of the ball don't mean you're ready to lead 100 men on the field on Sunday. People got to understand there's more than X's and O's to go to being a head coach, and I keep saying it. You got to make schedules. You got to deal with getting the respect in the locker room. You got to deal with discipline, disputes. Think about being a supervisor or running a department or owning a team. Basically, that's what it is. Them decisions up to you. Oh, you let Todd get away with it, but you ain't do nothing to build, and all that run under that. Making bus schedules, when y'all leaving out, hotel schedules. You know what I'm saying? Who to come down on, who not to go down on, how you manage all these personalities, how you manage people saying it ain't fair. And I see a lot of times when I used to work at companies, and people made it easy to move up the ladder, especially in union shops, because you've seen a lot of people didn't want the responsibility of moving up. They didn't want that responsibility. But then they wanted to complain about the person who did get the responsibility and move it up and took advantage of it and how they run it when they had the opportunity to do so. But yeah, it's a different ball game, and they gave him a big raise. I think he proved that. And I think with a different batch of jobs out there next year, it could be better. And he could, garnish more on the market next year. So I think that's what it could be. Like, now get another year under your belt. You double down, see what you're doing. I think it is partially that, due to that, he like what they building and they going in the right direction. But also the Rays and the group of guys they working with, and then just continuing to get prepared to be ready to do that. And I think another year, you know what I'm saying, make them ready. And I think it might be a better, I can't say it will be, it might be a better batch of jobs out there for him next year. And with another successful year this year, and it may not be so successful this year, but if you have another successful year going in the right direction, the bag gonna go up regardless. So and then you gotta understand, so plan your family. And then if you really don't love none of the jobs there, you know what I'm saying? And it's hard to go somewhere where you don't have a quarterback. Then you gotta look at the group of quarterbacks going out. Then you gotta deal with the GM, the owner, what they want. You a new head coach. Your voice ain't as big as the organization. I mean, the only place that really made sense for him was Denver, and what he think he can do with Russell Wilson. That's the only place that legitimately kind of made sense for him. That's how I look at it. That's the only place I think that made sense. But yeah, shout out to the Lions for doing the right thing. It seemed like Sheila really want to build that corner, or bend that corner, and become a respectable franchise. And hopefully we living in that time, and hopefully Sheila Ford, they get it right, because we know they ain't selling the team. But it seemed to me that she on the right trajectory, Then again, things can change. I'm always tentative about the SOL, but I like where they going. I like where they going, and I like the crop of guys they getting. And I don't think they got to do nothing too out of the ordinary to continue on this path of success. Can they do some things to speed it up? Absolutely. Well, can those very same things, that you think gonna speed it up, fuck it up? Excuse my language. Absolutely. It's a risk-reward factor there. It's a risk-reward. If they just continue to build it how they build it, I think they're building it the right way. You gotta understand, you had a GM in Bob Quinn who tore it all down. The good, the bad, the ugly, the great, he tore it all down. So Brad Holmes got to build, this team back up, and they found the rock star in Ben Johnson. They said it before last season. I was like, okay, they saying it. You know what I'm saying? And I think he lived up to I think he exceeded the hype. I don't want to disrespect that man. I think he exceeded the hype. I think he exceeded. So, but I think there's some room for improvement for him too. And from a personnel standpoint of view, I think it's some room for improvement. And I think he's gonna look at it and see where he can improve at, and I think they will. So he's gonna have a new toy to play with Jameson Williams. So I think a healthy James Mitchell. So yeah, I think Ben can be a rock star out here. Continue to be one. And before you know it, Dan Campbell might have a coaching tree. Obviously he got an eye for talent. And it took a lot of him, he loved calling plays, but it took a lot for him to give up that play calling. And a lot of guys would have let their ego get in the way and call plays, or jointly call plays with Ben Johnson. But you know what? He didn't let his ego mess it up. He knew what he signed up for with Ben Johnson, and he let him have it. A lot of guys would have fell in love with calling plays. That's all they would have cared about. And for the detriment of the team, that just let me know Dan Campbell, wow, Dan Campbell, seemed to be a really good leader. I know a lot of dudes that can't put their pride aside and can't admit that they wrong, can't admit they not that guy, and that's the problem with joining groups. Everybody want to be the rock star. Everybody want to be the leader of the band. My band. Everybody want to be the leader. Nobody want to play their position. Everybody want to be the uno. You know, and that's always important in relationships. That's always important in teamwork and groups. You know, you start in communities. Everybody got to play their part. Everybody can't be Eminem. Everybody can't be Denzel Washington. You know, somebody got to be Derek Luke. Come on, man. Pay attention. He old. My bad, bro. My bad, my daddy. But, yeah, somebody got to be the co-feature. Somebody got to be the co-star, and that's fine. And when you know to hand over responsibilities, and you know when you want to call it a day, you know what I'm saying? You know, you got to respect that. That's leadership. Even though he probably been waiting to call plays his whole life. Dan Campbell said, you know what? I'm a two-step to the side. I can't hold this back right here. I can't hold this man back. This man is great. So, shout out to Dan Campbell. Shout out to Ben Johnson. Shout out to Sheila for doing the right thing. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance of notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. All my links inside the link tree. It's the first link in the description. Check out Detroit Lions Talk plays, more videos like this. Don't forget to check my main channel out right here on YouTube, Goodfella TV. For more sports news and entertainment around the sports world and the music and entertainment world, that's Goodfella TV. Peace.